today. This is Living and Loving Each Day. My name is Susan Jansen, and this is a podcast where we shine a light on really impressive individuals who are just making a difference in our world. I just love learning about new people and what they're doing, what they're up to. And each week we share stories of people who are using their talents and their gifts to and passions to serve others. And that's why Living and Loving Each Day is here today. So our guests are dedicated to making a difference, and they are driven by desire to help others. So through their work and commitment, they are improving the lives of those around them and making our world a better place. And so join us as we celebrate. Each and every Monday, we go live and learn about their journeys and gain insights into how it happened. Because we just talked with my guest, things just don't happen. There's a lot of work and a lot of planning. So today I'm excited to introduce you to the beautiful Cindy Sim. And Cindy is a highly accomplished businesswoman. She's an innovator. She's an advocate who is on a mission to support millions, not thousands and not hundreds of thousands, but millions of caregivers across Canada. And these caregivers are often unsupported, and they're often facing increased burnout, depression, and financial insecurity. I don't think people understand or realize that just because they haven't been in that world. But as founder of Team Carepal, Edmonton-based startup group, which I'm so proud of you, Cindy, she's developed an innovative app and software that fosters family collaboration and simplifies resources, simplifies access, and promotes mental well-being. So Team Carepal is transforming the relationship between care organizations and the caregivers, kind of bridging that gap. I'm just so excited I'm honored to introduce Cindy Sim today. And she's going to tell us all about this app and how it's revolutionizing the caregiving industry. Yes. Yay. Cindy, welcome.
Oh, that was a wonderful introduction, Susan.
Thank you. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, this is really exciting. So right away, I think we should talk about who's a caregiver, right?
Exactly. That's my first question. Yeah, okay. Let's lay down the definition.
So a lot of people don't even recognize themselves as caregivers, but caregivers is anyone who is looking after a loved one with an illness, a disability, or aging needs. Okay, so that's anybody. And so if you're listening to that and you're one of those people, you are in fact a caregiver. In fact, there's over 8 million caregivers across Canada right now. Wow. That's 1 in 4. So that is a lot. Yeah. So, diving into Team Carepal real quick, I can do a quick spieler.
Please. I want to hear all about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So back in 2018, U of A discovered that there was like 1 in 5 caregivers that spent 20 or more hours per week providing care for somebody that they loved. And so this is on top of their daily tasks, their family, a lot of them work. So there's a lot of juggling on top of, caring for their loved ones. And so that's when that burnout kind of really sets in. I was a caregiver, for my grandparents and my aunt and my mother. And, I have aging, parents too. And so we have a lot of beautiful elders that are coming up. And so, I've just really understood the pain points that family caregivers went through. And so this idea was born many, many, many years ago. And so it really just came to fruition when the pandemic hit. And there was like this striking bright light shone on caregivers and, what they were going through and the burnout that they were experiencing. So anyways, 1 in 5 caregivers spent like over 20 hours a week caring for their loved ones. And, we realized that this is the point where burnout significantly increases with 21 or more hours. And with our healthcare struggling, cost and demand for care is expected to increase and resources are running thin. Burnout is on the rise. So, there's just this big lack of support for caregivers in Canada. They're not even technically even recognized here in Canada.
Why is that? Like, why do you think?
That's a really interesting question.
Yeah.
It just Canada. It's in many countries, but it's just something they've been a backbone to our healthcare system for so long, and they've just gone completely unrecognized and unsupported. And now, we're looking at, our aging population is increasing, and just being at the risk where we're at with our healthcare systems, we don't have the supports we have nowhere to put them. So it's going to land on caregivers to look after their loved ones. And in fact, studies show that 1 in 9 long-term care beds are filled unnecessarily because of lack of supports at home.
But we can't determine ahead of time, like who, when you say lack of support, does that mean like any respite work or somebody but that you can hire, or are you talking about family?
Just all of it, just all the
All of
supports.
it.
There's just no supports. And so when a caregiver ends up reaching burnout, they risk, their role suffers. They're not equipped to look after their loved one, the way that they want to look after their loved one.
And they're not trained. It's not like this is a thing that you grow up and you take care of your aging parents. I mean,
No,
we're not, it's just like being a mom, right? Nobody gives us the book
no.
on how to be a mom before you have a baby.
Yeah. Yeah. And so if we lose our caregivers to burnout, it's, our healthcare system, will be endangered significantly, and the quality of life for those that they care for is going to drop. And, we know that Canadians and Albertans want to age at home. They just do. That's what they want to do. So we have to step up.
The baby boomers are very stubborn. I speak from experience. It's like nobody tells me what to do and when to do it. Thank you very much. We're like the hippie peace, love, and don't be bossing me around stage.
Yes, yes. So maybe
yeah.
I should rename my app to like the baby boomer app. But yeah, I'll tell you a little bit about, Team
Yes.
Carepal and how we're going to help this situation, this crisis that is going on, because every single Canadian is going to feel this crisis, whether they know someone right now who they're caring for, or they're needing care themselves, or they're going to end up, providing care in the future or needing care in the future. Like, it's going to touch every Canadian. So we are launching Team Carepal at the end of this month on the App Stores. Yes, it's been a long time coming.
Cool. Everybody, you're hearing it now. This is like this huge launch. This is so exciting. So
Yes,
exciting.
yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
It really is. And it's going to make a significant, difference. So by downloading the app and inviting other family members to join, the caregiver actually gains access to a range of useful features, and they can manage the caregiving responsibilities together. These include the, ability to communicate, collaborate with other family members and friends on caregiving tasks, household care, scheduling appointments, advanced care planning, which is so important, care decisions. And so they will also have access to resources, supports, customized exactly to their needs, their situation, and their location. This is really important. So all of this will empower caregivers and families to make more informed and confident decisions of their loved one, which is huge.
And why didn't we do this 20 years ago or 10 years ago? I mean, I'm glad you're doing this. I'm so glad you're doing this, but it's, those kind of things where you hear about something and it's like a no-brainer. Like, why wouldn't we have a collaborative approach before? But I mean, that's why this is so exciting.
Well, I think, we've just always focused on, the care recipient, right? And not the person caring for them. And so there's another beautiful feature that, that's in our application as well, is that, caregivers will be able to monitor their burnout levels so that they can maintain their own health and well-being in the app, which is really important. And then the Team Carepal app will be able to send them services and supports based on their burnout level. So, by monitoring this, caregivers can identify the early warning signs and take steps to prevent, this burnout from becoming a chronic condition. So this could be taking breaks, seeking support from family and friends, accessing resources and services to help them maybe get the respite that they need. So the Caregivers app, ability to monitor these burnout levels and provide these resources based on that level is just invaluable to caregivers.
Oh, for sure. And so what happens is so if you are a caregiver, you download the app, or anybody can download the app.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Anyone can download the app.
And so, because as you know, in my experiences with my granddaughter, she has respite. She's 10 now, Kalea, and she has cerebral palsy and cortical vision impairment. And she has respite workers that come in to help the mom and to help with Kalea on 4-hour intervals. But I mean, that's got to be organized. And so your app, is that for respite workers for children as well? Well, we're not just talking the stubborn, I won't say that. Not just talking about the baby boomers.
No, it's everyone.
everybody. Awesome.
Yes,
Awesome.
100%. And pricing, I really want to highlight this because we really struggled with pricing the app because caregivers do face, financial insecurity, a lot of them, and a lot of them might not be able to afford the app. And so we really, in a perfect world, we didn't want to pay for, charge at all. But, unfortunately, it does cost money to make.
Right.
So we're coming out as with a pay what you can strategy. So we're going to suggest, a price that, what it costs for us to create it and maintain it. But if a caregiver cannot, afford it, they don't have to pay.
So you have resources, or you have because are you nonprofit, right? Is that
No,
correct?
we're for profit.
You're for profit. So then, but you have you might have people who are sponsors or affiliates who can help with that.
Well, there is an option too that if they want to pay for a little bit more than, what it costs us to maintain the app, that they can also put that in there and that will offset, the price for caregivers that can't afford it. We're going to leave it up to Canadians and we didn't want to put anybody into more financial risk. So
Exactly. No, and I don't, and I think once they get the app and then they realize how organized it is and how efficient it is, and the communication, you're not making these numerous phone calls and trying to organize people and places and things, then that's going to just be so powerful. It's
yeah.
going to be,
You know
great.
what, Susan? We recently completed our health economic model, which is based on existing research. And this is assuming that Team Carepal can reduce a caregiver burden by like 20%.
Wow.
Based on those numbers, there would be 50 over almost 16,000 fewer hospitalizations of caregivers per year just in
Mm,
Alberta. Just in Alberta.
wow.
And we're talking even coronary heart disease. Women have like a higher risk of coronary heart disease just in general. When you add the level of burnout or burden that, caregivers experience,
Mhm.
by using Team Carepal and reducing that burnout by 20%, there would be just 1,300 fewer coronary heart disease cases here in Alberta as well.
Mhm. That's fantastic. So it's benefiting a lot of people. It's not
Yeah.
just the caregivers, it's also the recipients, and it's being preventative for the caregivers too. I think that's really
100%. Yeah. Even
mm,
even with work, when you dive into the economic, almost 8,000 fewer caregivers would have to leave work as a result of caregiving.
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And are you the only app? Is this going to be like once you launch this, are you unique in that?
We
Are
are
you
unique in the fact that we really support the caregiver's journey all the way from the beginning, all the way to the end of life, and we've really dove into the pain points on caregivers, like and understanding each one of them, and making sure that that was all added into the app. The other thing that sets us apart is the next thing that we're going to be launching at the
Oh,
end of summer, beginning of fall, and that's going to be the caregiver will be able to subscribe to a continuing care organization or care organization that has our Team Carepal portal. This is huge.
wow.
Yeah.
So support, more
More
support, right?
support. Yeah. So organizations will be able to have a portal and it'll be able to connect to the app. And there's just going to be so many great features in there.
Oh my goodness. So this is just the beginning.
This is just
This
the
is just
beginning.
the beginning of wonderful
Yeah.
things, and especially for caregivers. I mean, I'm hearing like I hear commercials all the time about people who are requesting caregivers and they need them, but and I think they're out there. It's just getting them in one place so you
Yeah.
can access them and coordinate their what they have to do, their
Yeah.
responsibilities, and then also coordinate with the families. That's huge too,
It is
right? Because
massive.
there's a lot of people have family like out of the city, out of the province,
Yeah.
and this way you could connect them on the app, right?
Yeah.
So that they kind of know what's going on.
And send them the supports. A lot of caregivers don't know where to go for help. They don't know
Mm,
what to search. They don't know what to look for. Based on their location, we're going to tell them if they live in Alberta, we're going to be like, hey, there is Caregivers Alberta. There is coaches waiting
yeah,
by. Connect with one of them. They will help you navigate the ecosystem. They will help you, educate you on your role. There's just so much supports out there that, caregivers are missing because they don't know where to find them. And we're going to bridge that gap in the app. So we're
yeah,
really excited for that.
that's so cool. And you're going to be reducing, like you said, the burnout,
Yes.
because it's a tough job, and there's special people who are caregivers,
Yeah.
and I'm sure a lot of people in our audience know people who are amazing.
Yeah.
at what they do. And so we need to protect them and to help them and to support them in any way. So this is really exciting.
Yes.
So exciting.
Yes.
So what's other than your launch? So how can people get in touch with you, or what if they wanted to, either two things? So what if people they needed a caregiver, or if they want to not volunteer, I'm sorry, if they want to offer their services as a caregiver, what do they do? How do they get in touch with you?
Yeah, I mean, just come onto our website, www.teamcarepal.com, and follow our socials, join our social page, and really share it. Like, sign up. You can go onto our website. You can sign up to our email thread. We will keep you up to date along the progress, when we launch, what's coming next this year. We're going to let everybody know everything, and we're going to please just come on, join us, and share us. If they know anybody, caregivers, if they know somebody right now who is, caring for a loved one and is really, struggling, please share Team Carepal with them, please.
Yeah, the support is out there, so you just have to know where to go. That's why I like doing this, just to kind of share what you're doing, because I know the wonderful things you're doing, and it's just so nice to be able to just shine a light on you today, because it's worth it, and and you're doing such great work.
Thank you.
And special. I speak for all baby boomers.
Well, I couldn't have done it without my incredible team. I just want to take a moment, like Paisley Churchill, my CPO, Corridor Inc., our app developers, and just all the incredible women, that have paved the way before me. Like, I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the University of Alberta, the research team that they've done, Caregivers Alberta. There's just so many people in this space that have paved the way for me to do what I do, and I wouldn't be here today without them.
Oh, that's so good. Just quickly, I'm just curious. So, your background, like when you got into this, I'm sure that was years ago. But what is your seed? What is your passion?
Yeah. Well, I was in marketing before the pandemic hit, but prior to that, I was the mom. I raised
Yeah.
my babies. I was very passionate about my babies, and I was very passionate about volunteering. So I was the sports manager and sat on school boards, and I worked as an education assistant for a long time. I loved children. I big heart for autistic children. I spent so many hours with them, and I love people. I want to give. I want to give back.
Oh, that's so cool. Well, you're awesome. And you're exactly why I like doing this show, because it's just shining a light on really beautiful people with beautiful hearts.
Thank you. Thank you,
And
Susan.
you're serving a lot of people, and it's I just see it growing. I see it exploding for you. So I'm so pleased about, and again, this is not age restricted. This is all inclusive, right?
Yes.
Like, I mean, this is caregivers for any
Everyone.
age,
Everyone.
anything.
Across the
So
globe. It doesn't even have to be in Canada. Across the globe. Right now, if you speak English, it's you can use it. Yeah.
that's powerful. So I'm so glad for you, so happy for you. So everybody, thank you so much for joining us today. This time goes by so fast. We got great guests. Cindy, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you,
And
Susan.
this is intended to highlight beautiful people like Cindy. And we also want to inspire you to be somebody that inspires other people, and to just be an inspiration. There's so many ways that we can shine lights on people. Exactly. So please go to my website is livingandlovingeachday.com, and you can subscribe and find out more about that. Or if you have any really great ideas of great people, just like Cindy, that I can interview, I'm happy to do that, because that's where my passion is. So everybody, thank you so much. Cindy, you're beautiful. Thank you so much for being
Thank
here.
you, Susan, for what you do. It's incredible.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And so thank you, everybody, for joining us. And we'll see you again next Monday, 2:00. Thanks. Bye.